Hey everybody, welcome back. I just wanted to do a little political rant here, so surprise, surprise, but yeah, not really a surprise. Um, I mean, of all the Democrats, I really thought that Bernie Sanders was the only one that really stood a chance. I don't even know if he stands a chance of beating Trump, but yeah, I think he does have the best chance, and according to the polls, I guess he's favored to win the nomination of the Democratic Party, but we'll see what happens. Kamala Harris dropped out, Cory Booker dropped out, and Elizabeth Warren, Joe Biden was leading for a while, but now he's way down the polls, and it's really hilarious in a way because when Joe Biden was a threat, I mean, when he was leading the polls, Trump, it kind of seemed like he felt threatened by him. He's still trying to sabotage Biden, talk about him and his son being corrupt, and Creepy Joe, calling him Creepy Joe. And I guess now that Bernie Sanders is favored to win the Democratic Party, now all of a sudden he's calling, even though Bernie Sanders is a little bit off his rocker, I think, in a way, with some of his ideas. Things he's proposing. I guess now he's calling Bernie Sanders crazy Bernie. Trump isn't the craziest thing we've ever seen in politics in this country. It's just amazing. And, as far as Republicans go, I mean, there are some, no matter what Trump does, I think there are just some Republicans that they're going to stick with Trump. They're going to support him no matter what. He's perfect. But the one thing that I think Bernie Sanders does have on his side is, I mean, obviously, over 3 years that Trump has been in office, he was proposing, this, huge, not like perfect, but, getting rid of Obamacare, replacing it with something better, saying that that was one thing he kept proposing, saying like, oh, you're going to have the best health care that there's ever been in this country. You're going to have such great plans. We're going to have so much competition, which is going to lower, all the costs, the rates, premiums, deductibles, all that crap. And I actually had forgotten. I mean, I know that was the big thing he was talking about, but I actually had forgotten about it. I mean, I know he said he wanted to repeal Obamacare and replace it with something better. I actually slipped my mind. It's been so long, I forgot about it. Pretty much got thrown out. But yeah, I do remember now that he was proposing, Trump Care, which is supposed to be like, a near perfect health care for everybody in this country. And it was just a mess. He talked about Obamacare being a disaster. Obamacare sucks. It doesn't work. But I guess whatever he was proposing with Trump Care, and that got thrown out. Even even the Republicans, they're saying like, oh, this is even worse. And I haven't been following the healthcare a whole lot lately, but supposedly he has, Obamacare. I definitely had issues with it to begin with, but I guess according to what I read is that he has made Obamacare even worse with him trying to fix it, and supposedly that's just caused, or it's going to cause, or if it stays this way, it's going to cause everybody's insurance rates to go up. All the costs, prescription costs, premiums, deductibles, co-pays. So it's definitely, that's one thing that I did hear that Bernie Sanders does have an aside, as he might draw, because even Republicans, healthcare is a mess. Maybe there's a chance that, I mean, it's a slim chance, but maybe there is a chance that some of the Republicans might support Bernie on that issue because, I think that healthcare would probably be better underneath Bernie than it would be underneath Trump. And obviously, I'm pretty sure the Democrats are definitely going to go for Bernie. But again, I don't know where, that's the one thing that Bernie Sanders isn't very clear about. It's like, where is this money going to come from? Nothing is for free. That's one thing that, nothing is for free. Somebody's paying for it. Somebody's always paying for it. He's talking about free healthcare, free college, all the student loan forgiveness. I mean, from what I did hear about the student loans, is that he's gonna cut, if that were to happen, is that he's gonna take, do a cut tax or increase taxes on the upper 5% wealthy people in this country, and that's supposed to take care of that. And I don't know if that's the same thing that he's gonna do for free healthcare, free college. Again, it's not very free. The money's got to come from somewhere. But that's one thing that Bernie isn't really clear, and it wasn't really clear back in 2016. Is like it's not free. Where is this money going to come from? You're going to have to, you know, you're going to have to increase taxes on somebody, and who? Are you going to do it on the middle class too? Are you just going to do it on the really wealthy? And how much are taxes going to be increased? That's a big burning question for me. And I wasn't really too clear on that. And it's going to be interesting to see what happens. I mean, it is clear that I think he would have been a better choice back in 2016, definitely better than Hillary. But it's pretty clear that he was sabotaged. So I mean, I kind of am glad. I felt bad in a way. He was clearly sabotaged, I think, and looks like this will be his chance to redeem himself. But I think he's got to, really come up with something new. It seems like so far that he's proposing all the same things, but if he's really leading the polls, if nobody else, is coming up with better ideas, maybe he's got the best chance of winning the nomination. And it was funny, like Trump, he did tweet something the other day saying like, oh yeah, Bernie Sanders is killing it against the know-nothing Democratic candidates or something like that, but I guess he was still saying that he thinks he's got he's going to destroy Bernie. So yeah, well, it's going to be interesting. It's definitely going to be an interesting year to see what happens. But yeah, it was funny, and I think it was the second debate in 2016 where Bernie, it was clear, it's just politics. I'm pretty sure Bernie was pissed off about it, but it's clear that he did get sabotaged. But then he did endorse Hillary after that. But yeah, he did say that Hillary had bad judgment, and it was clear that he got sabotaged. But then he endorsed her. I'm pretty sure that's just what he was told to do. Of course, Ted Cruz, when he dropped out, he didn't endorse Trump, and he got booed off the stage. So it could be Bernie was just trying to play the political game. But Trump was saying like, oh yeah, he was talking about Hillary, saying like, oh yeah, I was so surprised. He was talking about how Bernie was sabotaged, but he's like, at the same time, I was so surprised to see him sign on with the devil, and you could clearly see on the screen like a fly land at Hillary Clinton's forehead. That was like such a funny thing, I thought. And yeah, I thought that he had a better chance. I'm not really sure if he could have beaten Trump, but he definitely would have been the better choice than Hillary. I just think Hillary with Benghazi and the deleted emails, and then like the past that Bill Clinton had with Monica Lewinsky and all these other allegations with Paul Jones and those two other women that claimed there was one woman, Juanita Broderick, that claimed that Bill Clinton raped her, and then there was that one woman that was a volunteer, Kathleen Wiley. She claimed that Bill Clinton tried to rape her, and then there was that Kathy Shelton that actually did get raped, not by Bill Clinton, but she got raped when she was 12 years old, and I guess that was Hillary Clinton's first case that she took on. And I guess she got the guy off. The guy still got charged, but he got off on a much, much lesser charge. And then, like Hillary, I guess he took a polygraph test and he passed it. And Hillary was laughing that he passed the polygraph test. She said something like, "Oh yeah, this really." She said something about. Oh yeah, I think she said, "Oh yeah, this destroys any faith that I had in polygraph tests." And she laughed, which. Sounds to me like she knew that he was guilty, but, passed it, because he either had no conscience or the polygraph was defective or what have you. I guess supposedly they're not 100%, they're, admissible in court, but, they're not 100%, they're pretty accurate, but I guess they're not 100% foolproof. I don't know, I guess if somebody really is a sociopath, they don't have a conscience, they don't feel any nervousness or any stress when they lie. I guess it'd be pretty easy for somebody like that to pass a polygraph test. So again, for people like that, like somebody like Ted Bundy or, Drew Peterson, Jeffrey Dahmer, somebody like that, maybe a polygraph isn't 100% effective. Maybe, might not hold up in court at all. It's really not proof, really not evidence. It's just kind of like a test, as it's called, polygraph test. So yeah, it's definitely going to be interesting. But yeah, this whole thing with this impeachment, it's all this stuff going on, and then with all this shit going on with Iran, it's been an interesting year so far. It's been a crazy year already, only not even a month into the year. So yeah, a lot could still, boy, it's going to be interesting to see if any third party candidates come out. I know a lot of people were, of course, yeah, we did get Gary Johnson and Jill Stein back in 2016, but yeah, there were a lot of people that, Democrats, they didn't care for Hillary, they didn't care for Bernie Sanders, they didn't care for Trump, they didn't care for any of the other Republican candidates, and there were a lot of people who were like, oh, we just need to get rid of these people, just come up with a whole new line of candidates, and a lot of people were just hoping for a third-party candidate, somebody who was middle of the road, and, yeah, as far, I'm kind of like that too. I am not a Democrat, I'm not a Republican, I am middle of the road, I'm an independent. I mean, the way I feel about it is politicians, they all lie, they all pretty much suck. They all feed you a bunch of bullshit. Even Obama, who was, in my lifetime, he was the most respected, politician that I ever saw, admired, and, we know, I don't know, it's like even he came up with a bunch of lies. Even he kind of preached to the choir, said a lot of things and got in and didn't do a lot of the things that he proposed. So it's like, even if, somebody like Obama, who, was pretty classy, very admired, very, intelligent, even somebody like him kind of fed a bunch of bullshit and then got in, did things totally different. If even, to me, that's proof right there that, politics is just a big game. It's like you gotta, kind of feed the public. I mean, Honest Abe, Abraham Lincoln, even he supposedly lied. JFK lied. It's like, it's just all a big game. It's kind of like you got to rile up your base, to get votes, and then you get in. You get into the primary. You win you rile up your base. You win the primary, and then you moderate in the general election, and then you moderate when you are actually president, if you become president. So yeah, it's all a big game. But it's going to be interesting. Going to be interesting to see what happens. Yeah, Bernie does get elected president. Yeah, he'd be, what is he going to be, like 79 next year? Is that right? But yeah, he'd be like the oldest, or is he even old now? Yeah, he'd be like the oldest. He'd definitely would be the oldest elected president ever, older than Trump. I'm sure if he does get elected president, he better make sure that he picks a good running mate, a good vice president, in case he doesn't make it. Because if you do pass away, definitely want somebody good, somebody knows what they're doing to fill your shoes. So yeah, that's all I have to say on that. Please comment, like, share, subscribe, and I'll talk to you all real soon. Another great video. Have a great rest of your week, everybody. Take care. Bye.